Hello everybody, you got Jacob here, and I am here to give you all my WrestleMania 29 predictions. What do I think of all the matches? Who do I think is going to win? Who do I think should win, needs to win, all that good stuff. Overall, going by the overall card, it looks like, on paper, it looks like a pretty good show. Honestly, there's maybe one match on this card that I think is gonna totally suck, so that's a good sign. And I think if they just give proper care to it, this really could be a really good WrestleMania. The build-up hasn't been all that exciting, all that amazing, or at least for most of the card. But WrestleMania 29 could end up being a really great show, and I hope it does. Hope it is going to end up being a great show. Before I break down every match and give my thoughts on each match, I just need to go on a little rant right here for a minute. Why is Wade Barrett versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title the pre-show match? We have Brodus Clay, Tensai, Naomi and Cameron versus Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Nikki and Brie Bella, an 8-person tag team match. Which, odds are, that's just going to be some stupid comedy time filler thing. Why isn't that the pre-show? Wade Barrett versus The Miz actually has potential, I think, to be a pretty good match. Maybe not amazing. I'm not talking about Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat here. I'm not talking Bret Hart, Roddy Piper here. But it still has the potential to be a really good match, a sleeper hit, a sleeper match. But they're just gonna go ahead and throw it away and put it on the pre-show. Like WrestleMania 25 when they had the Colognes versus Miz and Morrison. That for the unified tag team title, that was a big match, and they just go ahead and put it on the pre-show in order to give Kid Rock 10 minutes to do a concert nobody wanted to hear. Same thing here. You're going to put Wade Barrett and Miz, which again could be a really good match, and you're putting on the pre-show, which odds are not a lot of people are going to watch. And I just don't get that. But WWE hasn't really given us a reason to care about Wade Barrett or The Miz or the Intercontinental title for that fact. So hey, who cares? That's on the pre-show, I find it funny. This time a year ago, the Intercontinental title was actually gaining some sort of credibility again. I remember watching pay-per-views last year, thinking, okay, the Intercontinental title match, I want to see this, because when they gave the Intercontinental title to a guy, they were having good matches for it, and the title was getting some kind of credibility back. But I guess they just threw that out the water. Kind of with the tag team titles. Team Hell No just totally dominated everybody, and they just threw their hands up like, oh well. It's like they're just giving up on it, which sucks, because the Intercontinental title is one of the most legendary titles, not only in the WWE, just in the business period. And you're doing nothing with it. You're not making it feel like this is the same title that Hall of Famers have held. You're not making it feel like it's all that important. You're making it feel like it's just a step above the Divas title, which isn't saying a lot. Okay. Anyway. Wade Barrett versus The Miz, odds are I'm not going to get to see it, which kind of does suck, because I'm not saying I was that uber excited to see it, but hey, it was an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania between two guys I like, so I'd probably enjoy it anyway, but hey, no, we need a time for stupid comedy. So let's go ahead and talk about the 8-person tag team match that will be on the WrestleMania card, unless there's some miraculous last-minute switch where the 8-person tag gets the pre-show and Wade Barrett and Miz gets on the main card, which I doubt is going to happen. But hey, who knows? So 8-person tag team match. Tons of Funk. Is that what they're calling themselves now? Rose Clay and Not Tensai, Sweet Tea now, along with Cameron and Naomi versus Team Rhodes Scholars, Damien Sandow, Cody Rhodes, and the Bella Twins. First of all, why is the Bellas back? Why are the Bellas back in WWE? Why? Leave. You don't like this business? Go. You know, you want to talk about how you threatened to leave the company unless Vince put y'all on TV back when y'all were developmental. And when y'all were being interviewed by people, you can't even get the name of the frickin' company right. Bellas, why are you in this company? Go. Leave. And Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow, okay, are y'all broken up or not? They can't make up their minds what they want to do. Whether or not they want to keep them as a team or they want to split them up. They can't decide. Are they together or are they not? And I honestly think that Rhodes and Sandow deserve much better than this match. But whatever. Let's just try to look at it objectively. Will this be a good match? Probably not. Like I said, it's probably just going to be useless time filler between matches. Maybe to cool the crowd down after a big match or whatnot. I mean, you might get a few chuckles out of it, but I don't really see it being that great. Who do I think needs the win in this match? Odds are no one really cares about this match, so who cares who's going to win? I don't think either team will benefit from a win here. Who do I think is going to win? I think Brodus, Tensai, Naomi, Cameron. I think they're going to win, but like I said, I could care less. This match I think is going to suck. I just wanted to get the most painful stuff out the way so we can get down to the good stuff on the card. So let's just go ahead and get that 8-man tag out of here. Moving on, we're going to talk about Chris Jericho versus Fandango. Now, I'm not really crazy excited to see this, you know, but I'm not exactly dreading the thought of watching this match. I think this, out of all the matches we have, I think this match could surprise people. I think this match could be the sleeper of the night. You know, the match no one's really expecting to be amazing, yet all of a sudden, hey, turns out to be a pretty good match. Then again, last year I said I thought that Daniel Bryan and Sheamus for the world title was going to be the sleeper hit, and we all know how that ended up. So, who knows? I think it's awesome that Fandango's first match, and I know he's actually Johnny Curtis from FCW, from NXT, but I've never actually seen Johnny Curtis wrestle. I know he's been with the company for a while, but I've never actually seen him wrestle. So in essence, his debut match as Fandango, however you say his name, will be the first time I actually see him wrestle. So in a sense, yeah, it's his first match for me. So I wouldn't say his first match. To have his first match at WrestleMania, I think really speaks volumes on what the people in the back, what Vince McMahon all think of this character. I think obviously Vince McMahon has a lot of stock in this character. He thinks highly of this character. He thinks maybe Fandango can go far, which is cool. You know, it's a legitimate attempt at WWE to build up and establish a new credible heel star, which is good, which is a good thing. And pairing him with Jericho, I think, is also brilliant, because Jericho is a great performer, he's a great wrestler, and he can make Fandango look like $1 million that night, Sunday night. Do I think it's going to be a good match? Yeah. I think it's going to be watchable at least, you know. I think it will be watchable at least. Is Fandango over enough, you know? You know, with these past few weeks attacking Jericho, he's gotten some real audible heat from the crowd. You know, he's really getting some boos. So he's really building up some heat in a short amount of time. The character is, you know, he's flamboyant, he's out there, you know, and I think if done right, this whole mega push he's getting could ultimately work out for him. But then again, let's just go back a little bit. TLC 2009, a nobody named Sheamus ends up beating John Cena for the WWE title, and we were like, who's this? Who's this tub of mayonnaise with a flaming head beating John Cena? What? Who are you? You know, we didn't know who Sheamus was, and all of a sudden he's given the crown jewel of WWE. Let's go a little more recent. Alberto Del Rio debuts, and within 4 months or so, he wins the 40-man Royal Rumble, and by the end of the year, he's won the WWE title like twice. You know, he's shoved down our throats, but he wasn't really getting over. You know, the people weren't exactly buying into him as a real credible threat. Now, Del Rio's done an amazing job turning himself around. He's really over now, and he really is becoming one of the top faces of the company, which is good. Which is good for him. So, this Fandango push could go either way. It could work really well for his character, or it could burn out completely. Who do I think needs the win? Obviously, I think Fandango needs the win in this match. They're putting a lot of stock in this character. They're investing a lot of time in this character, and I think that's perfectly good reason why Fandango needs to win. Obviously, they have a lot of faith in him, and by having him beat an established star like Jericho on WrestleMania, I mean, just picture that. I mean, that's going to be huge for his character. That's going to be huge for him. You know? Who do I think is going to win? I also think that Fandango's going to win. I think Fandango has this match. He's going to beat Jericho, and who knows where he goes from here. Now, knowing WWE, they might have him lose. I hope not, but it's happened. If Fandango loses the match, which I really hope doesn't, but if he does, WWE has to be sure that Chris Jericho makes him look like a star. Jericho needs to make him look like $1 million. You know, because even if he loses, if he comes like so close to beating Jericho that you actually think he could beat Jericho, or if he looks awesome during the match, then that would also help him. But obviously, the win will help out a lot more than a loss, while still looking good. So yeah, Fandango needs to win, and I think he will win this Sunday. Alright, moving on. Going to talk about Ryback versus Mark Henry. This one's a little hard to call as for who's going to win and whatnot. You know, it's going to be big man versus big man, and that can either work out really well or it can be boring as hell. Generally, bigger men in wrestling, they're more powerful. They're not as skilled in the technical side, so their offense is more just these big old power moves, which look painful and look like they hurt. But if you're a fan of technical wrestling, you know, don't really expect this match to blow you away. This is purely going to be power versus power, which this match could be really fun to watch. You know, Mark Henry, he's a monster. He recently just came back, so he's trying to, you know, rebuild that status he had before he left. This Hall of Pain, this monster who's just running roughshod on SmackDown, on WWE, you know, destroying everybody in his path. And then we have Ryback, who's been, ever since like last summer, been doing the same. Guys have been tossed at him. He's ate them up and then yelled, "Feed me more," for months now. So yeah, it really, this does feel like one of those matches where certain people went like, you know, this Ryback kid, I wonder what would happen if he faced Henry. Or they saw Henry come back, like, hey, I wonder what happens if he faced Ryback. So it does seem like a match that makes sense. You know, like they're trying to see who is the best monster guy in the WWE, who's the most dominant, you know. So logically this match makes sense. And again, it could be fun to watch. Yet seeing two bigger guys could also be kind of slow and boring. So, it's a toss-up for me. Who do I think needs the win? Well, Henry could use the win because he can use the win to further establish that, hey, I'm Mark Henry, I'm a badass, I'm a beast, I'm going to put you in the Hall of Pain, and that's what I do. I'm going to smash you, and there ain't going to be no hope for you. Henry coming back needs to prove that. He needs to pick up right where he left off and show that, hey, I'm back, you ain't going to mess with me. Ryback could use the win to further establish his character as a real beast, a real force to be reckoned with in the WWE. Plus, and this is just me talking here, I think ever since Ryback got out of the title picture, of the WWE title picture, he's kind of somewhat lost a step. I mean, yeah, he did the whole stuff with Shield, and that TLC match at TLC 2012. Wow, that was the best TLC match in years. I think that was awesome. But ever since TLC 2012, I think he's been kind of on a downward spiral somewhat. He hasn't been on as much as a roll as he's been. So by having Ryback beat Mark Henry at WrestleMania, that could also really help him get some more credibility and could really build him back up to bigger and better things. So who needs to win more? I'm going to say Ryback needs to win more to further establish his big man character and to get him back on track. Now, who do I think is actually going to win? It's a toss-up, but I'm going to say Ryback's going to win. Now Henry could win, but yeah, I'm just going to go with Ryback. Though my opinion could change tomorrow, So yeah, Ryback to win that, and I think he needs to win more than Mark Henry does.